Hyundai Creta, Kia Seltos, Skoda Kushaq, Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara, Volkswagen Tiguan and the upcoming Honda Elevate. Why am I naming all these mid-size SUVs? Because that is the competition the brand new Citroen C3 Aircross is going to face. Hang on a minute, C3 mid-size? Well, that is the beauty of this modular platform, because this brand new Citroen SUV is actually 4.3 meters in length. So welcome to Express Drives, and we are going to find out what the new Citroen C3 Aircross is all about. Is the Challenger worthy of the competition? So let's take a quick look at the design of the C3 Aircross. Well, it is a typical Citroen design. You can straight away look at the wide design of the split headlamp, and if you take a closer look, the headlamps itself, they are halogen, they are not LEDs like its competition. Come to the front nose itself, it has that dual chevron right there with the dual slats on the nose, and if you go a little bit lower, the front grille, it is a massive looking grille, and the top of the line variant, the lower part of the grille comes with aluminium brushed and contrasting white finish. So very impressive looking, definitely a little bit sporty. But let's quickly now take a look at the side. And the top of the line again is what we are talking about. It comes with a very smart looking 17-inch alloy wheels. Well, you got to keep in mind that that is the norm, but Kia has stepped it up, and now the top of the line Kia Seltos variant comes with 18-inch alloy wheels. So there's a bit of a tussle right here. You take a look again at the sweeping statement that makes. It has that butch traditional SUV look with a bit of a squarish rear right here, but all in all it has an imposing look, and you can see the body cladding, the wheel arches, they are big, they are imposing, very much what an SUV buyer wants. And if you go for the top of the line variant, again here you see it has a dual paint combination right there. Extremely smart, very contemporary, and will definitely attract the young buyers. Quickly come to the rear, and again I think, in my opinion, it looks very, very contemporary. You can take a look at the tail lamp right here, the cluster. It looks very chunky, and it's carved in such a way that it comes out of the body shell. So it does have again that very meaty and good presence, road presence that we want. So you can look at this piano finish strip right here, that also is very smartly done, which beautifully complements the double chevron over here, and of course the Citroen badge. The C3 Aircross interiors is definitely a lot better than its hatchback sibling. The quality has improved fairly well, but when you compare it with its competition, well, that is where I think it falls slightly short. In terms of the material, it's solid build, fit and finish, not much to worry about, but these are all very hard plastic materials, something that you would expect an SUV coming out in the earlier versions, not nowadays, because now they're a lot more luxurious looking, and they use actually soft plastic materials. So over here you can see there's this bronze finish top layer of the dashboard, which may or may not be very appealing, but they have made an effort, so points for that. The infotainment system remains the same. It's a 10.3 inch touchscreen, and as far as the response is concerned, it's very good. There are no issues right there. It does come with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. What it doesn't come with is wireless phone charger, which is a bit surprising, and ventilated front seats is also not something that is available in the C3 Aircross, which is a very practical feature in India. We also know that the Indian customers, they love sunroof, where the C3 Aircross does not come with one. So that is something that one has to keep in mind. If you look at the center console itself, it is bare basics, which can be a bit of an eyesore because nowadays almost all cars come with climate control settings. This is very basic, the knobs as you can see. So we are hoping that this would make the car a lot more aggressively priced, which we'll have to wait and see. The steering wheel is well built, solid built. It has all the functions that you need. So coming to the all digital 7-inch instrument cluster, it comes with different modes. It comes with the typical speedometer with the RPM reading, then just the speedometer, and then it also has important information that reads out, like the average kilometer per hour, the kilometer per liter reading as well. So all these odometer as well. There are a lot of different options that you can use according to your own preference. So now coming to the second row, and just keep in mind we are sitting in the 5-seater. Well, first and foremost, look at the amount of space it offers, the knee room. You can actually just fold your legs, sit back and relax. Now, we mentioned earlier that this vehicle's length is 4.3 meters, but in terms of the wheelbase, it has the best in the segment, and you can clearly see the leg room. Then also the headroom, there is plenty of headroom, so one cannot really complain about it. You fold up the armrest, and it has decent shoulder room as well, so 3 adults can sit. In terms of connectivity, well, you've got your ports right here. You've got 2 USB charging ports. In front you have 1 USB port and 1 12-volt connectivity port. So that is very basic, but then you have all the required charging ports for your devices. The seat itself is a little bit on the flatter side. It could have been a little bit more contoured and could have given you a little bit more support, but all in all it is still comfortable. Yeah, a little bit of under thigh support is also underwhelming, but it is in most of the cars in this segment. But apart from that, it is spacious, and we cannot keep mentioning this. Just look at the knee room. It is the best in the segment. Right now we are sitting in the 7-seater, and the 7-seater second row does not get an armrest, as you can see. But both the versions do come with the window switches in the center console, which is a bit uncomfortable to use because your natural reflexes, you'll be searching for the switches here. So this is a cost-cutting decision made by Citroen. So we are hoping that this vehicle is going to be aggressively priced. Let's find out what the third row is like, even though Citroen calls it 5+2 seating. Very easy, just pull the lever and it folds very easily. You can enter in and you sit right here, pull this thing back. Well, it is very less space, but then this is more for kids, additional space if required, but not really something where you'll be comfortable. I can't even put my feet together, as you can see, but it has 2 USB ports right here, so you do have some way of connecting your devices. You do get all the safety measures right here, but again, extremely cramped for adults. So we are driving the C3 Aircross, which is powered by the 1.2 litre turbo petrol engine. This is the same powertrain that also is available in the C3 hatchback. Now the power output is the same, so it remains 109 bhp of power and 190 Nm of torque, but Citroen has said that they have recalibrated it to suit this SUV, which is obviously bigger and heavier. And the good thing here is that even at the bottom end of the power band, you just step on the accelerator and there is just a lot of torque available. That is just something else altogether. Here we're just stepping on the accelerator and there is engine noise, but then we are driving over 4000 RPM. But coming back to the power, it just does not dip, maybe in the low end or in the mid-range power band. There is just enough pull. So this makes it very practical for both city commute as well as in the highways. So you can chug along at low speeds without going on fidgeting with the gear stick, and at the same time on the highways you can easily and effortlessly overtake. Now gear ratio is a bit on the higher side, so that's why it also helps you to not change gears. So you can actually change gears at around 3000 RPM or even higher than that. The engine feels a bit stressed after 4500 RPM, mark, so that is quite a bit. So it just offers again a lot of power. Gear stick is also effortless, it is smooth, so changing gears again in daily commute is going to be a very easy affair. The ride quality. Now Citroen is all about comfort, and the suspension setup is tuned to actually for the Indian roads. It just goes over bumps and potholes so easily. We went over some rocky trails as well, and Citroen just kept on telling us that take it the way you are driving on a tarmac. Don't go so cautious, don't drive so cautious, don't just step on the brakes. Of course, if it is really required, you do have to. But on a whole, they said just go over the bad roads, and we did exactly that. And it was very impressive because my colleague, he was sitting in the second row, and he also did not complain. He wasn't feeling car sick or anything. On top of that, the ride quality, it cushioned all these bumps so that, you know, he could sit very comfortably and at peace. So the C3 Aircross will soon be available in the market, and we'll tell you when. But let's talk about the pros and cons of this SUV. Well, for starters, it is distinctively Citroen thanks to its unique design. Now the design works, and also in some ways it doesn't work for it because it has a very C3 like design, which for an affordable car it works fine, but for a mid-size segment SUV, well, it could have been slightly different. But apart from that, it still has the unique road presence which every SUV owner wants to have. In terms of features, yes, it could have had more features, but then this is an opportunity for the French auto manufacturer to price this SUV in a very aggressive way, and that's what we hope for. So what it misses out in, well, sunroof, then front ventilated seats, that is very practical, and we were even a bit surprised that wireless phone charger is also not available. Apart from that, just continuing with the interiors, the cabin space is a lot of it, plenty of leg room, especially for the second row. It has the best wheelbase in the segment, hence that translates into leg room. The third row, which Citroen calls it 5+2, so they don't call it a third row. It has jump seats. You can remove them if you want, and if you do remove them, well, it has a class leading boot space of over 500 liters. So there, that practicality also comes in. In terms of the engine, it has, yes, the same C3 1.2 liter turbo petrol engine, but it has been calibrated, and that's why it feels a lot more zippy, a lot more nippy, and even though the torque and the power output remains the same, it just feels a lot more responsive and agile. So summing it up, we are hoping it's going to be a value for money vehicle, because that's what Citroen has been going on talking about, value. So this could be one of those value for money vehicles which we hope will disrupt the market. If you haven't already subscribed our channel, please do so. Do let us know what you think of the mid-size SUV segment. Is it being overly populated by players? Is Citroen getting into this segment a bit late? Whatever it is, do let us know. We would love to hear from you, and of course about the C3 Aircross.